CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, September 6th, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Hurricane Newton has slammed into the twin resorts of Los Cabos on the southern tip of Mexico's Baja California peninsula this morning. The storm began making landfall with winds of about 90 miles per hour earlier today, pelting the area near Cabo San Lucas with heavy rain and the strong winds. There are hurricane warnings in place for the peninsula and even a stretch of the mainland Pacific coast across the Sea of Cortez. The National Hurricane Center said that Newton could even reach the American border at Arizona as a tropical storm. The storm is bringing torrential rain in the area. There are about 14,000 tourists who are remaining in Los Cabos as of last night. Airlines have canceled flights. The tourists are being advised to remain in their hotels. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Hermine is expected to weaken as it continues to churn hundreds of miles offshore in the Atlantic Ocean. Tropical storm warnings remain in effect Tuesday morning from New York's Long Island up to Massachusetts. New Jersey saw big waves and churning surf with very little damage, fortunately. The Hurricane Center says Hermine is expected to become nearly stationary by tonight before turning toward the northeast sometime tomorrow. The storm's got sustained winds right now of about 65 miles per hour. It's about 140 miles southwest of Nantucket, Massachusetts. Most of southern New England remain under a tropical storm warning. Fortunately, the storm did stay offshore for most of the weekend. Hurricane Hermine is likely to generate insured losses that are only going to approach about $500 million. This is according to Karen Clark and Company, the cat risk loss estimating and management firm. The estimates include a forecast of about 50,000 claims, primarily on residential properties and cars in Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina. Despite catastrophe losses in the first half of 2016 being higher than the long-term average, Royal Bank of Canada says that only the most severe event would result in any meaningful turn from the soft reinsurance pricing environment. RBC says that industry capital remains at an elevated level, and only the most severe catastrophe loss would be enough to cause pricing to turn meaningfully in our view. The bank went on to explain that without the occurrence of the most severe event, a number of medium-sized loss events could continue to drive a slowdown in reinsurance price declines, but nothing to make a U-turn and cause the prices to begin to go up. Well, we've been wondering when Lloyd's in London is going to begin to actually say something official about the pending exit of the UK from the EU. And last night, the chairman of Lloyd's, John Nelson, had some comments to make at the annual Lloyd's dinner held in the City of London. Nelson said that it's likely that Lloyd's will transfer some business to the European Union if Britain does not get single market access after it leaves the EU. Nelson said, if we do not get access to the EU single market, what will happen is that business will be written by us and others offshore in the EU. This would mean moving business or business leaving London more quickly than, say, the renegotiation timetable. We need clarity. If we do not see a clear direction of travel, we will have to invoke our contingency plans. Nelson also took a swipe at UK government regulations, saying that the Brexit presents an opportunity for the government to look carefully at the extent of regulatory oversight as it tries to maintain competitiveness in the wake of the pending exit. He said, there is an opportunity for us to look at the regulatory framework objectively and ask ourselves, is it giving us every chance to succeed? He said the short answer is that the regulation is burdensome, overly burdensome. More than 1,000 residents and tourists have been forced from their homes and hotels along one of Spain's most popular tourist resorts as wildfire rages around the eastern Costa Blanca area. Authorities believe that 3 fires causing the havoc may have been started deliberately on Sunday afternoon. Buildings in the towns of Benidorm and several other villages in the area have been destroyed. The fire is apparently under control now after being fought by military units and firefighters. The U.S. Geological Survey is examining whether the 5.6 magnitude earthquake that struck Oklahoma on Saturday was triggered by underground disposal of wastewater from oil and gas production. The quake forced the Oklahoma regulators to, within hours, demand that operators of 37 disposal wells in a 500 square mile area around the quake shut down immediately. The quake struck at 7:02 a.m. near Pawnee, Oklahoma, a town about 55 miles northwest of Tulsa, but was widely felt throughout the middle of the U.S. as far away as Kansas City and Houston. British Airlines says that its flights are gradually returning to normal today after a still unexplained computer problem that disabled the airline's self-service check-in kiosks for several hours yesterday. The extent of the computer problem was not immediately clear, but it did cause havoc at a number of British Airlines American gateways. 9 weeks from today, or 63 days, the U.S. presidential election will be held. Polls are indicating that there's a tightening up now. Some polls actually have the Republican candidate Donald Trump ahead. The first debate is scheduled between Hillary Clinton and Trump on September 26th. It will be a very interesting 9 weeks, and mercifully at the end of that period, the campaign will finish. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back to tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.